Welcome to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast, a show for ambitious women who are ready to ditch their 9-to-5 and create an online business doing work that's in alignment with their calling. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, business and money mindset coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Each week, I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and cultivate an abundance mindset that will help you create a profitable, service-based online business. If you're ready to make an income and impact doing what you love, let's do this. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. In today's show, we're talking about where to market your online business because the online space is massive. It's absolutely massive, which means it can also be really overwhelming, especially when you're first starting out. There are multiple different places that you can be hanging out, that you can be talking to your ideal clients on, but you need to narrow down your focus. Once upon a time, it was taught in the online space that you need to be everywhere, and the thinking behind that is that the more places you are, the more eyes get on your business and the more people you can help. And while that makes sense from a certain angle, when you actually put that into practice, it is really overwhelming. I did this for a little while. I thought that was the right way to do things. And what I realized for myself is that I felt so scattered. I felt pulled in a million different directions. I was feeling really burnt out. And it might work for you if you have a team in place that can help you share content, or if you're the type of person who loves doing a million different things. If that's your energy, if that's your personality type, that could be the way to do things. But what I've seen for myself, my clients, is that when you focus in and you go narrow on, say, 2 to 3 platforms max, you're going to get so much more out of it because you're going to be able to go deep with your people, build relationships, and grow an audience on places that feel really good for you to hang out. So that's the first piece here. The first question I have for you is, where do you already love hanging out online? Maybe for you, it's Pinterest. Maybe you love Instagram and watching Instagram stories. Maybe it's binging on podcasts or reading blogs. Think about the places that you already love hanging out on, because chances are showing up for your business in those places is also going to feel really good as well. The second question is, what type of content do you love to create? Or if you haven't started creating content yet, just think about things like, are you naturally drawn to writing? Is being in front of the camera something that really lights you up? Because when it comes to having a strategy in our business and having a marketing plan, we want to be doing things that feel good for us. And of course, as entrepreneurs, we're going to have days that don't feel good. We're going to have days where we don't feel like showing up in our business, no matter how much we love what we do. That is perfectly normal. But if you're telling yourself that you need to do live video in order to attract clients, and you've tried it and you absolutely hate it, that is not going to attract clients, because people are going to feel that energy from a mile away. They're going to know that you don't want to be there, right? They're going to be able to feel it. So it's not going to serve you in the long run. Whereas if you tune in and you ask yourself, like, okay, if I could show up any way I wanted to and create any kind of content, what would that look like? Maybe for you, it's TikToks. Maybe you absolutely love doing TikTok videos, which are also really great to share over on Instagram Reels. Maybe for you, it is beautiful photos. Maybe Instagram is the place for you because you love photography, you love beautiful images, you have an eye for design, and that is just the space that you would thrive on. So we want to be asking ourselves where we already love to hang out and spend time, and also looking at the different types of content. Now, when it comes to content, we can repurpose things in different ways. So if you absolutely love doing video, but writing blog posts makes you want to pull your hair out, what you can do is have your video be your main piece of content, and then you can have someone else transcribe that for you. Or you can go through your video and just make some quick points that you can transform into a blog post very easily. So that way you're not creating brand new pieces of content for a different platform, but you're taking something that you've already done, that you've already created in a way that feels good for you, and repurposing it in a different way. Now, the final question I have for you is, where is your ideal client spending their time? This isn't a huge one for me because I truly believe that when you show up online and you market your business in a way that feels good to you and you have your foundational pieces down, so you know who you're talking to, you know what you have to offer your people, when you have those pieces down and you're doing things in a way that feel really good for you, you are going to magnetize people to your business. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, as long as you're getting eyes, ears on your work and you're feeling good about it and you have clarity and you know what you do for people, it's going to work. But we can also make things easier for ourselves. And an example here is if you are marketing to, let's say you're marketing to women they're in their early 20s. They've left college, maybe they are starting their careers, maybe they're starting families, and you want to help them get organized, set some goals, and really learn more about time management. If those are your ideal people, young women in their early 20s, chances are Facebook isn't really going to be the place that they're hanging out on, because generally speaking, the young kids, the kids, they don't really hang out there so much anymore. You're probably going to find more people on TikTok or more people listening to podcasts or hanging out on Instagram. So feel free to do a little bit of market research here and find out where your people might be hanging out. Now, we also want to tie it back to, does it feel good for me to be on this platform? An example here for myself is LinkedIn would be ideal for me to be on because a lot of the women that I work with are in the earlier stages of their business, which means they're still often in a 9-to-5 job. LinkedIn is filled with people in 9-to-5 jobs and people who might be wanting to transition out of there. But the thing is with LinkedIn is I can't get into it. I have tried in the past. I've sat down, I've read books, I've watched trainings, and there's something about LinkedIn where when I try to absorb the information, it's like it hits a wall and it will not get through. It won't get through to me whatsoever. And I have a really hard time moving forward with even learning how to work that platform. Now, that might change over time. I can definitely see myself exploring that path in the future. But for right now, that's not really where I want to be, even though I know it's filled with people who would be perfect fit for my business. So we want to take all of these things into account. So where do you love hanging out online already? Where do you already know how to get around online? When I think of Pinterest, I think it's really cool in terms of looking at beautiful images, if I want to do a mood board or a vision board or something like that, but it's not my go-to space that I hang out on. I don't really know how it works that well. In my previous version of this business, when I was marketing to spiritual entrepreneurs, I had a Pinterest account. I had some things automated, and it was like quote unquote working in terms of bringing people into my business. But it's not something I truly understood on a deeper level, and I really didn't like putting a lot of time and energy in there. So I'm going to explore it moving forward. I don't have resistance around doing that, but it's not an easy yes for me. An easy yes for me is podcasting. I've done it in the past. I absolutely adore it. An easy yes for me is Instagram and Facebook because those are the places that I'm really comfortable with. And I'm all for moving outside of our comfort zone and doing things that are different and exploring different options. But at the end of the day, we want to make our business run as smoothly, as easily as possible. So why create more struggle for ourselves, right? Why create more stress for ourselves? If you already love hanging out on YouTube, if you already love creating videos, maybe you are a whiz when it comes to editing and you love the whole process of doing the hair, the makeup, the lighting, all the things that go into making a YouTube video. If you're already in that space and that feels good for you, that is the space to be. So, quick little recap here, asking yourself, where do you already love hanging out? What type of content do you love to create? And if you've never created a piece of content in your entire life, now is the time to start. This is your invitation. Write a post on Facebook, write a blog post, do a video, do a live stream, do something, because the clarity you're seeking is going to come through action. That is the only way, trust me, it is the only way you're going to figure things out. And I say this with so much love because for the longest time in the earlier stages of my business, I thought that I could journal and mentally map out exactly how everything was going to work. And of course, that's a great place to start. I'm all for journaling. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm all for doing some planning and organizing and putting some ideas down on paper. But at the end of the day, you're not going to know what truly works for you until you work it. So take some action, create a piece of content, explore some things. Point number 3 was asking yourself, where's your ideal client already hanging out? And then as far as an action step, what I would love for you guys to do this week is pick 2 to 3 platforms and start showing up there regularly. You don't have to be in a million different places. That is not required. But if you pick 2 to 3 places that feel good for you, that is really going to serve you, because you're going to be able to build relationships. You're going to be able to learn the platform and how to get around it easily. You're going to be able to learn how to create different types of content for that specific platform. And you're going to find your home, like your little online home where you want to set up your shop. So I will leave you with that. If you loved today's episode, I would love for you to share a screenshot of it and tag me over on Instagram. You can find me at igniteyourpurpose.co and let me know. Let me know what platforms you picked. Let me know where you're hanging out online so I can connect with you. Feel free to either tag me in your post or send me a DM and let me know where I can find you. All right, I will leave you with that. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you in the next episode.